There's a haunting irony about being an INFJ. The more you understand others, the less you know yourself. What if the very traits that make you insightful about everyone else close your eyes to your own destructive patterns? In a world that rewards fast talkers, bold action, and extroverted certainty, your depth becomes both your strength and your trap. That mismatch is why you often feel powerful, yet perpetually misunderstood. Today, we're exposing 10 unconscious habits INFJs can't see in themselves, and the hidden survival logic that keeps you repeating them. And the final one, it explains why you keep recreating the very problems you swear you want to solve. But first, let's start with the habit that disguises itself as wisdom while quietly chaining you in place. Before we start, please hit the like button, comment, and subscribe so you won't miss any of our weekly deep dives into the world of personality types. If you are looking to gain a deeper understanding of yourself and your personality type, click the link in the comments to take our favorite free personality test. Habit number 1. You mistake overthinking for deep thinking and wisdom. You call it reflection, those long mental spirals where every angle feels worth examining. But what starts as clarity soon becomes quicksand. Instead of recognizing patterns, your mind circles endlessly, convinced that turning the thought one more time will reveal its hidden truth. Yet what feels like discovery is often rumination, thoughts looping, meaning slipping further away. Meanwhile, life doesn't wait. That conversation you rewound in your head never happened. The opportunity you planned for has already passed. Your insight becomes a maze of mirrors, each reflection more distorted than the last. The paradox is that your most powerful truths arrive uninvited, in moments of unguarded intuition. When you catch yourself replaying the same scene, ask, is this moving me forward, or is it keeping me stuck? And the following pattern. It shows how your own perfectionism keeps your dreams locked away. Habit number 2. You use perfectionism as an excuse never to start anything. That project is still sitting in your notebook, the novel half formed in your mind. They don't remain unfinished because you lack talent. They're trapped behind your perfectionism. You tell yourself you're waiting for the right moment or the flawless plan. But underneath those excuses is fear. Fear of rejection. Fear of criticism. Fear that reality won't measure up to the purity of your vision. Your perfectionism comes from fear, not genuine high standards. It's armor. If you never start, no one can wound you with judgment. Your preparation feels like progress, but it only delays the risk of beginning. And yet, every masterpiece begins as a mess. That first draft, the awkward hello, the imperfect launch, that's where your brilliance hides. So ask yourself, what could you create if you stopped protecting the dream and actually lived it? Why do you retreat from intimacy even when it feels safe? Habit number 3. You sabotage good relationships before anyone can hurt you. The moment things feel steady, it's like a silent alarm goes off inside you. That person who genuinely cares? You start scanning for flaws, treating minor quirks as if they're warning signs. Many INFJs describe this push-pull. You long for closeness but sabotage it, often because past wounds are projected onto the present. So you withdraw affection before they can, criticize before you're criticized, and magnify tiny issues into deal breakers. It feels like protection, but it's really self-sabotage disguised as intuition. Inside, past betrayals play on repeat, and you mistake those echoes for intuition about new people. The cost is heavy. In trying to avoid heartbreak, you create the same loneliness you feared. If you recognize this pattern and want more insight, consider subscribing. There's a whole set of practical rewrites ahead. Next time you want to pull away, pause and ask, am I seeing them or an old wound? Write that answer down. And while this habit drives people away, there's another one rooted in your need to be close, where giving too much ends up draining you. Habit number 4. You're addicted to helping others because it makes you feel needed. You sacrifice sleep to solve problems, drop your priorities to rescue someone, and call it compassion. But here's the hidden truth. Your help isn't entirely selfless. The background material suggests many INFJs use helping as a way to feel indispensable, because being needed feels safer than being truly seen. So you burn yourself out fixing other people's lives while yours sits in neglect. Soon, resentment builds when no one reciprocates, when your sacrifices become the expectation. That's the trap, mistaking worth for utility. And here's an important reminder. Understanding someone's pain doesn't obligate you to enable harmful behavior. Real giving comes from abundance, not desperation. Before you step in next time, ask yourself, am I acting from abundance or fear? Up next, how your mind invents threats that never existed and how that drains you. Habit number 5. You create drama in your head, then get exhausted by imaginary problems. Your mind doesn't just wander, it builds entire stories from loose fragments. A late reply becomes a rejection. A neutral silence spirals into abandonment. Because you notice every subtle shift in tone, gesture, or timing, your brain stitches those tiny cues into elaborate narratives that feel convincing. Many INFJs live through imagined tragedies before they ever happen. Your gift for pattern recognition turns into vivid rehearsals of loss and conflict. The toll isn't from real events, it's from carrying the emotional weight of disasters that never came. You even chastise yourself for being too sensitive, when in truth, it's your imagination disguising itself as intuition. Try a small experiment. When one of these scenarios starts running, label it hypothetical and let it pass like a drifting cloud. And here's the next trap. You wait for conditions to be perfect before you even begin. Habit number 6. You wait for the perfect moment that will never come. Your life is lined with imaginary starting lines, waiting for more courage, better timing, or some invisible green light that tells you it's safe to begin. Because you idealize potential and fear imperfection, you keep convincing yourself there's a flawless alignment of timing, energy, and certainty just around the corner. But it never arrives. The pain isn't just procrastination, it's the slow ache of unlived potential. You'd rather preserve the fantasy of what could be than risk it being diminished by reality. Yet perfection isn't the gateway, it's the trap. The draft could be written. The conversation could change everything. The only way forward is to take one small, imperfect action that proves your idea belongs in the real world. And here's the more profound contradiction. Why do you fix others but stall on yourself? Habit number 7. You give advice you never follow yourself. You offer clarity to friends as if you can see straight into their souls, yet when it comes to your own path, everything blurs. This isn't hypocrisy, it's survival. Many INFJs stay in the role of the healed healer because it feels safer to guide than to risk being vulnerable. Advising others lets you sound strong while keeping your own uncertainty hidden. You talk about boundaries but hesitate to set them, preach self-care, you postpone, and encourage bold steps you're too afraid to take. The gap isn't ignorance, it's the shield of intellectualizing what you're too raw to live. Giving guidance keeps you safe behind words, rather than exposed in action. Next time you're advising someone, ask yourself quietly, would I accept this for my own life? And here lies the deeper challenge. What happens when someone dares to turn that spotlight back on you? Habit number 8. You use your sensitivity as a shield against honest feedback. Criticism doesn't just sting. You often experience it as personal, and your emotions surge before you can analyze what was actually said. That's why even constructive words can feel like betrayal, and why you sometimes push back harder than the moment calls for. Your silence, retreat, or tears aren't manipulation. They're self-preservation gone too far. But this fortress of fragility keeps you from hearing truths that might help you grow. The irony is evident. The same emotional depth that allows you to comfort others leaves you unprepared to withstand feedback for yourself. When critique lands, try pausing and asking, Could this be care rather than attack? Could it help me next time? But even beyond feedback, there's a subtler pattern at work. One where you keep people close, yet never truly let them in. Habit number 9. You choose isolation over the discomfort of being truly known. You create distance because vulnerability feels more dangerous than solitude. So you let people move close enough to sense your warmth, then retreat before they can touch the raw edges you'd rather keep hidden. Alone time, for you, is often about processing and restoration. But when it becomes a shield against growth, it quietly shifts from healing into avoidance. The craving for understanding wages war against the terror of it. What if someone truly saw all of you and didn't leave? That possibility feels riskier than solitude, so you manage relationships to stay just deep enough without ever being fully exposed. Yet the irony cuts. Your walls block joy as effectively as pain. So try cracking one window of vulnerability. Share one small, messy truth this week and watch who stays. Next, how being right can quietly undo everything you care about. Habit number 10. You're more invested in being right than being happy. That argument that should have faded hours ago still lingers, replaying in your mind piece by piece. Your intuition's sharpness, the pride you take in seeing patterns others miss, can quietly harden into a compulsion to prove you were correct, even if it costs the relationship. You'd rather lose the connection than admit your prediction was slightly off. Moments when others brush aside your concerns turn into battlegrounds where conceding feels like a betrayal of your integrity. You win debates but lose trust. The victory you clutch leaves you sitting alone with flawless logic and no one beside you. Before doubling down in an argument, ask, is proving this worth the relationship? If not, choose a connection. Because sometimes the real strength isn't in being right. It's in allowing yourself to be seen without the armor of certainty. Your ability to see deeply is both your gift and your trap. What unlocks hidden motives in others can close your eyes to your own patterns. These habits aren't failures. They began as survival strategies that overstayed their time. Awareness itself is already the pivot. If you recognized yourself here, you've taken the first step. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. More practical videos for INFJs are coming. And tell me in the comments, which habit surprised you most, or which one do you want help rewriting? If you want to continue the journey to understanding yourself or an INFJ in your life, click either of the following videos, where we continue to unlock the secrets of the INFJ personality type.